Morning. Today is Monday, August 24th. I am absolutely exhausted and not feeling the best, but let's talk about being wrong. There are a few moments when more humbling than you realizing you were wrong. It might happen during conversation, after learning new information, or months, even years after making an important decision. At first, the realization can sting. We may feel embarrassed, defensive, or disappointed in ourselves. But if we're willing to sit with that discomfort instead of running from it, we often discover something unexpected. Being wrong can become one of our greatest teachers. Unfortunately, sometimes our realization of being wrong comes too late. For instance, I recently heard from Temple Grandin about the importance of having children work early so they can understand how the world works and allows them to learn skills that they will not learn outside the workforce. Now, we have chosen not to have our children work while in high school as long as they were involved in extracurricular activities. And I think this is a mistake. I think we have actually done a disservice to our children in this area. From an early age, many of us are taught that mistakes are something to avoid. We celebrate getting the right answers in school, making good decisions, and appearing competent. As adults, that mindset often follows us. We begin to believe that admitting we're wrong somehow diminishes our intelligence, or our credibility. In reality, the opposite is true. People who are willing to admit mistakes demonstrate confidence because they aren't afraid to grow. Being wrong simply means you now know something you didn't know before. It means you've gained wisdom through experience. Every successful person has changed their mind, adjusted their perspective, and learned from decisions they wish they could redo. Growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Humility has often been misunderstood as weakness, but true humility is actually one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. It allows us to acknowledge that we don't know everything and that our understanding can evolve over time. When we let go of the need to always be right, we become more curious, compassionate, and open to learning. I found that some of my biggest personal breakthroughs happen after I stopped defending my old beliefs and started asking better questions. Instead of asking, how can I prove I'm right? I began asking, what can this situation teach me? That simple shift changed the way I approach relationships, finances, work, and even my own self-worth. One of the most surprising things I've learned is that admitting mistakes often strengthens relationships instead of damaging them. People rarely expect perfection, they appreciate honesty. Whether it's apologizing to a friend, acknowledging an error at work, or admitting poor judgment, accountability communicates respect and maturity. It tells others that your pride is less important than your integrity. I've also realized that accountability isn't about endlessly criticizing ourselves. It's about owning our actions while giving ourselves permission to improve. Every apology, every honest conversation, and every course correction builds stronger character and deeper trust with those around us. One area where I know this has worked in my favor is if mistakes happen at work, it's just easier to be like, hey, I made a mistake and offer a solution to rectify. I've been working in contract management and drafting for 8 years, and those first few years, a lot of mistakes happen. And even today, mistakes can happen. We are human after all. But if we acknowledge and find a solution, it is usually perceived better than trying to hide or not admit because your ego gets in the way. Realizing we were wrong can sometimes bring waves of guilt or regret. We replay conversations in our minds and wish we could go back and make different choices. While reflection is healthy, living in shame isn't. We cannot change yesterday, but we can choose how today's lessons shape tomorrow. Hope you're enjoying the dogs in all their glory. Grace reminds us that growth is a lifelong journey. Every person is making decisions based on the knowledge they have at the time. As we learn more, we naturally make better choices. Instead of punishing ourselves for who we used to be, we can celebrate how far we've come. Some realizations are small, while others completely alter the direction of our lives. Perhaps you recognize that a relationship wasn't healthy, that money couldn't buy happiness, or that success looked different than you once believed. Maybe you realize your priorities needed to change. Those moments can feel unsettling, but they also create opportunities for incredible transformation. Looking back, many of life's greatest blessings only become possible because I was willing to change my mind. New opportunities, healthier habits, stronger relationships, and greater peace often begins where certainty ends. We don't become wiser by never making mistakes. We become wiser by learning from them. Perhaps one of the clearest signs of maturity isn't having all the answers, it's being willing to admit when you've learned something new. Every time we choose humility over pride, accountability over excuses, and growth over comfort, we become a better version of ourselves. The next time you realize you were wrong, resist the urge to see it as failure. Instead, view it as evidence that you're still growing. After all, wisdom isn't about always being right, it's about being willing to change when truth invites you to. Growth doesn't ask us to be perfect, it simply asks us to remain teachable. With all that said, let's end on a positive affirmation, and today it is I grow through life with light and happy spirit. And I hope that's true. I am going through today with the spirit of trying to have my brain speed up because I'm so tired, my body to feel better. I really hope I'm not getting sick. That would not be fun. But it is the first few weeks of school, and I swear to God, the kids bring up something and I always catch it. Anyhow, I hope you all have a great day. Talk to you soon.